Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here to Oreo Truck Series All-Star Race Practice, as we're going to be seeing some of the drivers that are going to take part in this season's midpoint event, the All-Star Race. We'll talk about how they got in and talk about their possible chances here today. But before we get to it, I want you to take a look at the track. The track here, yeah, the track is nice and clear, looks good for racing, but look at that little grass strip between pit road and the racing surface. Yeah, that's a frost-bitten grass infield. We've had snow on and off during the course of this weekend, and this track here at M&M Super Speedway, we are going to try and get it good enough for racing, but we're trying to fight Mother Nature here, and it looks like it's going to be quite an uphill battle during the course of this entire week. As I saw a couple drivers coming off of pit road. One of them was Haruhi Tashimi, but I thought I saw one car come off a little bit further up, and that's Alex May. Alex May in the new number 52 car. As a matter of fact, there's actually an interesting story about this ride. You'll notice it's a Toyota. Alex May was actually wanting to be in this season's All-Star race. He's a two-time winner from last season, won at Atlanta and Zenjoltis, and he wanted to be in the All-Star race, but there were no rides available. What Cole and Bryant Motorsports did to get him into this All-Star race, they went over to Joe Gibbs Racing, that number 18 team that he used to drive for back in Season 6. They offered money to be able to buy the winning ride that he had last year from them. They were able to secure it. They completely, remodeled, refinished the car, took the 18 paint scheme off, put the 52 Beyond Two Souls Last of Us paint scheme on, and that is why Alex May is driving a Toyota. That is the same truck that he put in victory lane twice last year for Joe Gibbs Racing, now running it under the Cole Bryant Motorsports colors, and so we'll see how he does. Alex May has not been in a truck since the season finale of Zenjoltis in Season 6, so he's been out of the car, or out of the truck, that is, quite a while, and we'll see how he does here today as he is the first driver on track. We're going to wait until he comes around here to the start-finish line, see what kind of lap times we're going to possibly expect to see today, as he'll come here out of turn number 4. Now, I would think with being as cold as it is here today, and we're expecting cold temperatures all race week, that there's going to be quite a lack of grip, but Alex May looked pretty stellar going around that entire racetrack, and a 55.317 is the lap that he's just put down, and already it's been beaten by somebody. We'll find out who that is in just a moment as we go through the field here. Whoops. Move to the Toyota of Andreas Allen. Now, Andreas Allen picked up his victory in a pit road battle at Infineon. And Andreas Allen, one of very few rookies also that is going to be in this event. A couple of others that we'll be seeing, that we'll be looking at, include Haruhi Tashimi, Kyle Matthews, Levi McIntyre, but Andreas Allen, maybe out of all the rookies, whoa, nearly got into Alex May there, making a pass on the 52. That was a close call. But Andreas Allen, his win ended up coming at the restricted plate track. The restricted plate track. Good job, Seth. The road course of Infineon. And a restricted plate track's obviously much, much different, but Andreas Allen has been one of 3 drivers I've kept my eye on during the course of the last few weeks, and he has really been putting together some good runs and come up through the point stands, through the field. Keep your eye on this guy through the second half, no doubt about it, and keep your eye on him this race weekend. I'm certain that momentum's going to continue on here in a non-points event. There's a battle going on here between Haruhi Tashimi and Cody Lamas. Tashimi is 3rd fastest on track. Right now, Cody Lamas is 9th. Now, Haruhi Tashimi's in this event after picking up a win at Las Vegas earlier on this season, but we haven't really seen much else out of the NOS Energy Dodge. A lot of people wondering if Haruhi Tashimi just was in the right place, right time with qualifying herself on the Las Vegas pole, and that's how she ended up winning, because we really have not seen the same kind of racing aggressiveness out of Haruhi that we saw in that event. So we'll see if maybe here in a non-points event, if the pressure will be off and she'll be able to go out there and actually race hard. But right now, she's not really looking like she's got any plans for the championship, at least not in the way that she's been running. Cody Lamas, on the other hand, it's been kind of the same deal with him. Cody was actually up inside the top 10 for quite a while, but a big streak of poor finishes has knocked him outside the top 10 in recent weeks. Cody comes into this race due to a win last season at Texas. He's yet to go to victory lane this season in the Truck Series. Does have a Mobile Cup Series win, but that's not going to help him in trying to get the Truck Series championship. We'll see if maybe heading into the second half of the regular season, if maybe he can turn his luck around and get back up into the title hunt. It's currently 4th fastest on track. 3rd fastest right now is James McLeod in the 30 car. Now, McLeod has been another driver who really has kind of been laying in wait, working his way up through the point stands after starting off the season really poorly. McLeod is a former 3-time winner in a single season, and he ends up getting into this All-Star race by his win at Lime Rock back in Season 6. Turner Scott Motorsports has 2 of their cars already in this All-Star race. The only one missing is James Silverfox. He'll try and making his way into the All-Star race via the Oreo Open sometime later on this week. Quite a tussle here between the fastest on track Joshua Michaels, the 13 of Alex DeMarco, and Trek Togger in a one-race deal here with Roush Fenway Racing in the 6 car. As right now the Best Buy Ford is the current fastest car on track with a 50.630 as his fastest lap around this speedway. Joshua Michaels ended up picking up a victory last season, or no, not last season, it was this season as well. He picked up a win at Kansas in Season 6 and Dover here in Season 7, so 2 wins get him into the All-Star race. And Joshua Michaels is doing pretty well in points too. He's somewhere just inside the top 20, trying to move his way up inside the top 10. We'll see if maybe he can get a good momentum shift as he's side by side here with Trek Togger. Now Trek is kind of in the same boat as Alex May, hasn't been in a Truck Series ride since the season finale of Zen Joltis of Season 6. Trek's win ended up coming at Homestead Miami Speedway last season, and he's going to try and relearn these Truck Series. 4th fastest on track right now, pretty quick learner, and don't forget, Trek Togger, not only a former Truck Series winner, but he's also picked up a win in Snickers Cup Series competition when he drove the 22 for Penske Racing. That was back, I think, in either Season 4 or Season 5, and I'm almost wondering, did he have a Mobile Cup Series win? No, I don't think he did. He drove the 5, I remember, but I don't think he had a Mobile Cup Series win. He was close a couple of times, though. Alex DeMarco, a driver who is able to boast winning on one of the toughest tracks on the NNSCRA circuit. That was at Thornton, and that was, of course, last year. DeMarco coming in this year in the 13 truck, and he's actually been doing really well, has DeMarco. Moving over to Germain Racing in the Toyota Tundra. Alex DeMarco right now 9th fastest on track. Keep your eye on this guy because he's obviously really good at restrictor plate tracks too. He's had some good runs in the past few times he's been at certain restrictor plate tracks such as Talladega and Daytona. He also, I believe, had a good run at Coca-Cola Speedway, which this track is very, very similar to. Eric Burton, currently the 12th fastest on track, was a 3-time winner last season. And all 3 of those wins get him into this All-Star race. He won at Chicagoland, he won at Arizona, and he won at South Boston. Those times, though, he was driving the number 8 machine for Earnhardt Ganassi Racing. Now he's in the number 54 out of Stewart-Haas Racing. And we're going to have to see if maybe he can rekindle that fire he had in the second half of the season last season. Last season he was winless coming into the All-Star race, and he picked up 3 wins before the season was over. So maybe, just maybe, we could see the same thing out of Eric Burton here in Season 7. Just ahead of him is Danny Wells in the 29 for Richard Childress Racing. Danny Wells, 2-time winner last season as well, but that was with Hendrick Motorsports when he drove the 5. He won at Darlington and New Hampshire, 2 tracks very different from the restrictor plate track of M&M Super Speedway, but we'll see how he does here. He's currently the 14th fastest truck on this track right now. Big pack of cars back here, and this is where the speed's going to start coming in. Joe Gibbs Racing teammates Tanner Sullivan and Jacob Lawler working together. Sullivan won the Daytona race to start off this season. Jacob Lawler won 2 races this season, the only 2-time winner of the trucks. He won at Milwaukee, and then the following week at Auto Club. Tried going 3 in a row at Thornton and was unsuccessful. Right now, they've got Deanna Shelton in here with them. Deanna Shelton ended up picking up a Truck Series win last year. That was at Stunt Road. That was that dirt track, and it was a great win for her. She's now over here running well in points as well as Deanna Shelton. She's actually making herself quite a threat for the points lead now. And then how about this guy? Keep your eye on this guy, Kyle Matthews. He has 1 win in the Truck Series, and it came at Talladega Super Speedway, so he knows how to get around restricted plate tracks. They're all going to go around the off-the-pace car of Dylan Young, trying to find some drafting partner, but can't find it right now. As a matter of fact, his teammate, Chris Dollerton, left him high and dry and stuck with this pack. Dollerton, a former Truck Series champion. We haven't really heard a whole lot out of Chris Dollerton in the past few weeks because he's been having a lot of difficulties. He was up inside the top 10 in quite a bit at the beginning of the season, but now has seemed to taper off. We'll see if maybe he can rejuvenate himself in the second half of the regular season. Chris Dollerton gets into this race due to a win last season at Michigan. And then a new ride there right behind him, side by side with Deanna Shelton. That is Andy Timmons. Now, Cole Daly and Daly Motorsports put together this ride so that way Matthew Daly can still try and make this race in the 23. Andy Timmons, though, who ended up going to victory lane twice last season. His win at Daytona is what gets him into this all-star race. But Andy Timmons getting a ride put together for him. The number 38 Mountain Dew Chevrolet Silverado is what he'll be riding in. So he, Trek Togger, and Alex May all have not been in a Truck Series ride since the season finale is in Joltis. We'll see how they do in this event here, see how quickly they're able to adapt back to this style of racing, as Andy is currently 13th on the racetrack. And keep in mind, too, Andy Timmons, his win at the Milwaukee Mile in the Mobile Cup Series has him in that all-star race, so this will give him some good experience for the Mobile Cup Series practice that will be coming up pretty soon. As there is Dylan Young, all by his lonesome. He's trying to catch up to that big pack, I think, so that way he could start bringing his lap times up. He actually just ran his fastest lap of the race, which was a 52.721. Obviously way off, at least 2 miles per hour, or 2 seconds slower than the fastest car at track, I believe. And he is currently 22nd fastest on the track. That is second to last on the scoring monitor. Dylan Young, really, we have not seen Dylan Young really bring out the aggressive style we've seen him have in the past few seasons. I believe every single season since he's been with that 84 team, he has made the chase for the Oreo Truck Series Championship. That looking very much in jeopardy right now. He just dropped another spot. He's now 23rd fastest out of 24 drivers. Dylan Young gets into this all-star race, though, due to a win that came at Kentucky last season. We'll take a look here at 22nd fastest Zach Campbell. We're also going to bring up the ticker so you can see the fastest on track, which is still Joshua Michaels by about a full tenth of a second over Haruhi Hashimi and James McLeod. Then it's Alex DeMarco and Cody Lamas. That's the top 5 fastest at the current moment. But Zach Campbell went to victory lane earlier on this season at Phoenix. Campbell has really been on a cold streak, though. Campbell has been moved way down in the point stands, and he's trying to bounce back here in the second half of the season in that Hendrick Motorsports Chevy Silverado. There is Dylan Poteet for Turner Scott Motorsports, not running nearly as fast as his teammate James McLeod. But Poteet, he gets into this race after he ended up picking up several victories last year. That was at Talladega and Watkins Glen. And he also won this season in a fuel mileage battle off pit road at New Zealand. So Dylan Poteet trying to see what he can do here. He's currently 20th fastest on track, and he's working right now with Jake Cole in the 55. Now, Jake Cole gets into this event after a win at Coca-Cola Speedway. So a win at Coca-Cola Speedway in the Truck Series. Tell you what, keep your eye on this guy when we get to racing, because this track, I've said it before, I'll say it again, this is just like Coca-Cola Super Speedway. Instead of concrete, though, it's asphalt. It's the exact same kind of track design, exact same kind of speeds, exact same kind of room for drivers to be able to make moves. Jake Cole, you can bet he's going to try and remember back what he did at Coca-Cola and try and mimic that exact same thing in the Oreo Truck Series All-Star race. He's currently 22nd fastest on the track. And this is where all the speed is happening. That's why you're seeing all these drivers up inside the top 10 in the speeds there. Haruhi Tashimi second fastest on track. There's Sean Galligan right behind her. Galligan, a Dodge, one of 3 Dodges, I believe, that's going to be in this all-star race, along with Tashimi and his teammate out of Penske Racing, Levi McIntyre, who we haven't even seen on track yet. Don't know if he's on track yet or not. But Sean Galligan gets into this race winning at Derek Motodome. Sean Galligan almost had to race his way into the All-Star race via the Oreo Open, as he went winless the entire Season 6 and almost went winless the entire first half of the regular season here in Season 7. But he was able to pick up the victory. He's clinched himself a spot here in the All-Star race. We'll see how he does. Even in this big pack of traffic, though, he's only 17th fastest at the current moment. Another driver back there that we haven't talked about yet, Austin LaPlante in the number 48 for Hendrick Motorsports. LaPlante currently 7th fastest on track, as he's been in this big pack for quite a number of laps. And LaPlante ended up picking up a win at Charlotte last year when he drove the car he's actually racing with, Trek Togger's number 6 for Roush Fenway Racing. Austin LaPlante also ended up putting that 6 car in the chase for the championship. And are we going to go 4 wide here in practice? Well, we almost did. Alex May wisely bailing out of the throttle there in order to avoid. Let's take a look and see a couple other drivers that we haven't talked about during the course of the day. Let's find that 22 I was just talking about, Levi McIntyre. Here he is. He's back in this pack with Dollerton, Lawler, Daly, Sullivan, and Shelton. Right now, Levi McIntyre running 19th fastest on the track. McIntyre's win this season ended up coming at Thornton. Tough racetrack to win at, and this is equally as tough a track, although they don't have a turn of death. The Levi McIntyre, apparently, right now, the two Penske Dodges not running that strong, at least as far as speeds. Galligan was down, I think it was like 19th place in the running order, and Levi McIntyre not much better in the 18th spot. So they're trying to get this group of cars, this pack of cars, to produce some speed, but it's not seeming to work, as it looks like Trek Togger has hit the 49s. 49.988 for the number 6 of Trek Togger. Man, that truck's got a lot of speed, apparently. Good heavens. Didn't think we'd see a car hit the 49s. That just barely squeaked into the 49s there. We were expecting to see him run in the 50s, yes, but man, Trek Togger maybe setting a new track record here or something. Who knows? Another driver that we should look at here that we haven't talked about yet is a driver who just barely squeaked his way in to this all-star race, and here he is coming off pit road, now back onto the racetrack, of the defending Oreo Truck Series champion and former Moblin Cup Series champion, Trent Dunham. Now, Trent ended up picking up the win at Sparta last week in the Oreo Truck Series final regular season, first half of the season race. Trent Dunham, up to that point, was kind of in the same boat as Sean Galligan. He would have had to have raced his way into the all-star race, so he and Sean Galligan, by the skin of their teeth, both just barely getting into the all-star race, and Trent Dunham going to try and get his season turned around, as he has been running way down in the points even since the start of the season at Daytona. He wants to defend his title, and so he's got to get something really going here in order to do that. Trent Dunham, I've tried talking to him, and I haven't been able to really get it out of him. I've been able to get some information for him, but he will not reveal his plan on whether he's going to go out there, try and win races and get a wild card spot now, or if he's really going to work it the hard way and go up through the point standings. He's not willing to let us in on that information. We're going to have to wait till the second half of the season to see what the strategy will be for the number 1 machine, the Tracker Boats Chevrolet team. And we're back here with the group that apparently the speed seems to be at least in one sense. A couple of these drivers are up inside the top 10 in the speed charts, I believe. Actually, no, this is the second pack. Where's that big pack of cars? There they are. James McLeod, Sean Galligan, Andreas Allen, Kyle Matthews. Right now, Trek Togger is the fastest truck on track. We're looking at the second fastest in James McLeod, Alex DeMarco third, Haruhi Tashimi fourth, and now Sean Galligan, after getting into this big group of trucks, he is now the 5th fastest car on the track in the Blue Deuce. And this may work out well for Dylan Young, too, because this big pack of trucks are starting to catch him. If they form up within the next 2 minutes, Dylan Young could be up inside the top 10 in speeds. And they are going 4 wide behind him. Well, they were. Dylan Pote tried stepping out of line there, then backed out. So too did Jake Cole, and they're going to instead race double wide. Andreas Allen there, he is 6th fastest. Cody Lama 7th fastest. Alex May is 8th fastest. With Joshua Michaels and Austin LaPlante, those are the top 10 fastest drivers. And Joshua Michaels, I believe that 50.630 was set quite a while ago. He has since lost this big pack of trucks. He is way back now with the likes of Trent Dunham and Eric Burton, and I couldn't tell who the other car was he was with. But he's in what's a 4-car pack now, as opposed to what is here, which is about a 10, maybe even 12 truck pack. And Dylan Young, you see there, now has started to merge with these drivers. But there's only about 1 minute and 10 seconds and counting for Dylan Young to try and post a lap up inside the top 10 here. How about Trek Togger? Man, I guess he's done a good job of adapting back to the truck series, because he has the fastest lap. How about the same for Alex May? Coming in here as well, since the season finale is then Joltis 9th fastest on track. The only other one that really hasn't made his way up into the top 10 in the running order that is in the same boat is Andy Timmons. Let's see how fast he's running. 38 is currently 19th fastest on the racetrack. Oh, now they're 4 wide. They're starting to get racy here in the closing stages of this practice session. LaPlante, Pote, DeMarco, they were all 4 wide there with Trek Togger. And they're racing hard up here in this pack. This is the style of racing we're going to expect to see in the All-Star race. And actually in all 3 All-Star races, as a matter of fact. And they're 4 wide again. LaPlante, Pote, Lamas, Alex DeMarco. They're going to stay 4 wide. Looks like they are. But they're keeping it clean here. That's what's good to see, at least here in the practice session. I mean, in a practice session, there's no points on the line. There won't be any points on the line in the All-Star race anyway. But to see them racing this clean but this hard is really, really exciting. And practice is now over. These drivers are going to be allowed 45 more seconds to complete the lap they just started. And then that will basically be it. And it's looking like it is going to be Trek Togger who will be the fastest truck in practice with a 49.988 here today. Man, that is one fast machine, and that can obviously be attributed to being in the draft, this big pack of trucks. So there may be some drivers who are running all by themselves that may have a much faster setup than Trek Togger, and we just don't know it, and we won't find out until the Oreo Truck Series All-Star Race. And look at there, Dylan Young. Remember I said he had about a little over a minute to post a good time being in this big pack of trucks? He's going to be 9th fastest in today's event. So let's jump now and take a look at our official practice results. Trek Togger the fastest, James McLeod was 2nd fastest, with DeMarco Tashimi the fastest of the rookies in 4th, and Sean Galligan in 5th place. 2 Dodges up inside the top 5. Andreas Allen was 2nd highest rookie with 6th, Cody Lamas 7th, Austin Plant 8th, and then the 2 Dylans, Young and Poteet, in 9th and 10th. Jake Cole was 11th, Alex May dropped to 12th. Joshua Michaels, who was up atop the speed charts for a majority of the first half of this practice session, he was 13th at the end. 14th was Zach Campbell, Tanner Sullivan 15th, Danny Wells 16th, Eric Burton 17th, 18th Kyle Matthews, Levi McIntyre in 19th, Jacob Lawler. He was in that big pack of trucks for quite a while, but they didn't produce enough speed for him to get up any higher than 20th fastest. Andy Timmons, he was 21st, Trent Dunham 22nd, Chris Dollerton 23rd, and Deanna Shelton in 24th place. A lot of big names, a lot of well-known restricted plate drivers back there. Lawler, Timmons, Dunham, Dollerton, and Shelton, 20th through 24th. However, that could be attributed to the fact that they were not in a big pack of cars, or a big pack of trucks. So we'll have to see what exactly is going to happen as far as that's concerned when we get into all-star racing. They also may have tried to been holding back and tried to not show just exactly what kind of trucks they've got, how strong their trucks are. We'll find out, though, just how good the trucks they've got when we get to all-star racing. So we still got a practice session for Mobile One and a practice session for Snickers coming up. Hope you tune in for those. Congratulations, Trek Togger, on having the fastest car in practice here. Just barely getting it into the 49s. So we'll see you guys next time here as All-Star Race Weekend continues to roll on the NNSCRA Sports Channel. Offline racing at its best.